Hello, I'm Will Bushy, the founder of Sioux, and what I have with me today is our soldering project. Now, you might recognize this. It kind of is famous for being the Night Rider lights. Now, it's not a perfect rendition because the original one had a little bit of trail and leading with the LEDs, but considering this is just a real simple circuit that we're going to solder up with some kids, I think it's close enough. I think we're going to call it the Night Rider or the kit car lights. This is on a breadboard, as you can see, and it's kind of a mess. And if you were to try to look at that and say, well, what's going on? You're probably not going to have a good, easy time to figure that out. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at this, and we'll do a breakdown of the circuit. And then I've got the circuit boards that just showed up from China, and we're going to open that package and see what they look like. Let's go over the circuit diagram real quick, and I know most of you don't care, so I'm not going to go into great details. But in this particular case, I'm just using two chips. We've got the 555 timer, and we've got the 4017 BE, and this is a decade counter. And we've used this before on past projects. Now, in this particular case, we've got all of the LEDs that you see here blinking, and then here using these little diodes is what allows us to kind of double up on what each of the lights is doing. So that way we can get them going in both directions. But anyway, this is the circuit diagram. This is how I laid this out originally. And then from here, I go ahead and lay out the board itself. Now the board gets a little bit tricky. This is a two-sided board, so it's not too bad. And because I just printed it in black and white, you can't tell which side is which, but it doesn't really matter. I've got traces on both sides. I've got the LEDs on each side, so it's going to have two sets of lights that are going back and forth that can be used as like eyes, or on our particular car, they may just be on the front. Now I did print up, and I'll show you this on the boards that I got. I did make some that just had one set of LEDs on it, one set of 6 LEDs on it. So if you did want to just do a front or a back, you could. And if you wanted to have two like sets of eyes, you can do that as well. Now I set this up with two connectors. We've got a simple micro USB, and then we've got this little screw terminal. So with that, that's the circuit. There's the one on the breadboard. Let's go ahead and grab the box from China and take a look at the PCBs. There they are. Straight from China. Now I got these from JLC PCB, which is somebody that I've ordered from multiple times in the past, and they've worked out fantastic. These I got in right before the Chinese New Year started, and I thought maybe they were going to make the cut, but they didn't. They ended up getting pushed back until after, and then the coronavirus pushed it back a little bit further. Normally, from submitting the order until getting the PCBs is usually less than 7 days. In this case, I think it was probably 2 weeks, maybe 3. I'd have to actually go back and double check, but it doesn't matter. Wasn't in a big hurry anyway. So these came today, so I haven't opened it yet. Let's take a look and see what they look like. I'll get this bag out of the way because it's crinkly. All right, there's always some weird thing that they include. For a while they were pens or pencils. I think they were pens. And then they switched over to these little kind of weird magnifying glass things. The last one I had some tape, which I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with. So this time, I guess they're Post-it notes with a big thumb on them. Thumbs up. I guess you can thumbs up the video. So I ordered a couple of different things. So there is the PCBs for the Sioux, and then I've got these are unrelated. These are some different PCBs for a different project. This is I think this is the spooky eyes that I did a while ago. I just hadn't got around to printing them. Here's the one set, and here's the two sets of LEDs. So let's take a look at these first. So these are the one set LED, probably crinkly. Let me get them out real quick. There we are. We'll zoom in so you can take a nice look. All right. So these are the ones with just the 6 LEDs. Now this circuit board, I intentionally made quite a bit bigger. I could have easily shrunk this down, but one of the things that I've noticed when we've got kids soldering is if we've got some extra room, it just really helps them out. They've just got room in case this will just avoid a lot of solder bridges. So those actually look really good. They look fantastic. As I mentioned, I've got two different connectors on this. I'm not even sure which one I'm going to use, or I might use them both. So anyway, that's what they look like. They look great. Let's open these other ones up. Kind of curious. These ones I did a little bit of a long design. This is similar. Whoops, just cut that pack open. Now I'm going to get beads everywhere. These I did similar to that other project that I did last time, where it was a long board. Now I got desiccant beads running everywhere. Here we go. So now these ones have two sets of LEDs, one on the left and one on the right. Now they're going to do the same thing. They're both going to go back and forth. These were a lot more difficult to just set the traces out because I had to get this one and this one hooked together at the same time. So I took quite a little bit of finagling around on the traces to get that right. Now these are much, much larger than the last ones I did. Even though the last ones I thought were really large, they still were kind of too small for the kids to solder. So I really spread things out this time, and it doesn't cost much more at all to have them laid out. And I think the kids are just going to be a lot easier to solder these. So these are those two-sided boards, top side, bottom side. I debated with whether or not to even put silk screens on the bottom, because we could put all the circuit on this side, or the circuits on this side, and then if we wanted just the LEDs on this side, we can do that as well. But I ended up not doing that at the last minute and just kind of left it like this. If they do want to solder them on the back, they can. I just simply don't have any of the silk screen. So those turned out great. I'm really looking forward to this. I think the kids are really going to like this project because it's something that they can easily incorporate into their final car. So if you're interested, I know this video didn't talk a lot about the project hack Sioux Falls. This one was talking specifically about the PCB boards and the soldering project. But if you're interested, head over to hacksiouxfalls.com. I've got all the information there. And I do, even though we were only in a week or so from tickets, I've actually sold about a third of them already. So if you're interested, head over pretty quick and get signed up before it gets sold out. I only bought enough supplies for 15 kids. I've got 20 boards. I think I got 20 of each of these. So if the kids even want to solder up them both, we sure can. And I have all the components already in hand, so we're all set. We're ready to go. We'll be starting on March 14th. So head over to hacksiouxfalls.com for all the other details and all the other videos. Let me know if you have any questions.